What if one single day decided the fate of Europe? A day when the greatest general alive finally fell. This is the Battle of Waterloo. Like, share, and subscribe, because this is history like you've never heard it. June 18th, 1815. Dawn breaks over quiet Belgian fields. Farmers awake, unaware that by nightfall, the ground will be soaked in blood. Just months earlier, Napoleon Bonaparte escaped exile on Elba. The emperor had returned, and once again, Europe trembled. Napoleon struck north with lightning speed. If he could divide the Allied armies before they united, he might still win everything. Opposing him stood Britain's Duke of Wellington, calm, unshakable, and the Prussian commander Blücher, old but relentless. Two men determined to end Napoleon's reign forever. The rolling hills of Waterloo offered cover, but rain had turned the ground to mud, a nightmare for cannons and cavalry. From a distant ridge, Napoleon studied the field through his spyglass. He had never lost an open battle, not once. 73,000 French soldiers lined the fields, drums beating, flags snapping, hearts set on glory. Across the ridge, Wellington's men waited behind farmhouses and hedges, their cannons hidden, their nerves steel. At 11:30, the first cannon fired. The earth shook. The Battle of Waterloo had begun. Napoleon ordered an attack on the farmhouse of Hougoumont, a small outpost that would consume thousands of lives. Wellington's message was simple: hold the line, no matter the cost. Until the Prussians arrived. Rain-soaked ground swallowed cannonballs instead of bouncing them. Napoleon's greatest weapon, his artillery, was crippled by the weather. Durlin's corps marched forward, 17,000 strong. The French columns pushed uphill, straight into musket fire. Suddenly, British heavy cavalry charged down the slope. A wall of horses, sabers, and thunder. The Scots Greys rode through smoke and chaos. Their gray horses gleaming, their cry echoing, "Scotland forever." When the smoke cleared, the ground was covered with the fallen. Thousands gone in minutes. Glory came with a price. From his hilltop, Napoleon watched in silence. The battle was slipping from his grasp, but he refused to believe it. For hours, neither side yielded. The field was smoke, screams, and shattered resolve. Then, in the distance, a black line appeared. The Prussians had arrived, and with them, Napoleon's worst fear. French soldiers turned to face this new enemy. They were surrounded, trapped between Wellington and Blücher. Napoleon gathered his last reserve, the Old Guard, veterans of Austerlitz, his invincible elite. Drums rolled. Vive l'Empereur thundered across the field. The Old Guard began its march, step by step into destiny. Wellington watched them approach, silent and steady. He knew this was the final push. Cannon fire, musket smoke. The Guard climbed the ridge through a storm of iron. Men fell, but they did not stop. Then, a ripple. The unthinkable happened. The Old Guard turned and ran. La Garde recule. The Guard retreats. The shout spread like wildfire. Panic consumed the French line. In minutes, the proud army of Napoleon crumbled. Napoleon tried to rally his men, sword raised high, but no one listened. The dream of empire was over. By dusk, Wellington stood victorious, exhausted, watching smoke drift over a field of the dead. 47,000 men, dead, wounded, or missing. The ground of Waterloo became a silent grave. Under the fading sun, Napoleon rode away. The man who once ruled Europe, now fleeing his own battlefield. 4 days later, in Paris, he abdicated again, this time for good. Banished to the island of St. Helena, Napoleon would live out his final years surrounded by ocean and memory. Wellington surveyed the ruins of victory. The next worst thing to a battle lost, he said, is a battle won. In the aftermath, monarchs reclaimed their thrones. The map of Europe was redrawn, yet again. Even in defeat, Napoleon's legend grew. A man who rose from obscurity and nearly conquered the world. Scholars still debate. Was it the mud, bad timing, or destiny itself that doomed him? Fate can turn on the smallest hinge. A coin toss in the storm, and the world changes forever. Waterloo was more than a battle. It was the cost of ambition, paid in blood and empire. Today the fields are quiet, but when the wind blows, some say you can still hear the drums. Every so often, relics surface from the mud. Buttons, coins, musket balls. Silent witnesses to that day. Waterloo crowned Britain as the world's new power. From these muddy fields began a new empire. For every victory, there was heartbreak. Letters never sent, sons never returned. Waterloo reminds us that no empire is eternal. Even giants fall when pride outruns wisdom. In defeat, he became immortal, a symbol of genius, ambition, and downfall. June 18th, 1815, the moment the age of Napoleon ended, and a new Europe began. Now, a monument stands on the hill, peaceful, silent, the scars of war hidden beneath green fields. 2 centuries later, the echoes remain, etched in the soil and in memory. Glory is fleeting, Napoleon once said, but obscurity is forever. History proved him right. This was the Battle of Waterloo, the day Napoleon fell and Europe was reborn. If you enjoyed this journey through history, like, share, and subscribe, because more untold stories await.